Hi dancers! So thank you all for joining me for this first class of the year. So we are doing Jamila Salimpour step vocabulary for probably about the next 12 weeks. So this vocabulary of steps are based on the work originally done by Jamila Salimpour, who was one of the first people in the United States, if not in the world, to start sort of categorizing and naming steps to have a very clear and specific system of nomenclature and organizing the steps so that she could make sense of them herself and so that she could teach them to her students. Now, this step vocabulary was then eventually added onto by her daughter, Suhaila Salimpour, and she's still adding steps to this day. So these are more typical, like traditional steps, folkloric steps, steps that you would see in context. So a little bit different than what we're working on with that Suhaila Salimpour technique, where we're really just working on like the physical actions of the body and building our coordination. So Jamila Salimpour step vocabulary, a little more dancey. I would say a little more musical when you get to dance it in class. A little bit more like a party. So we worked on basic Egyptian. So remember to be at home, and that's step, twist, step, twist. And you can go forward or backwards with it. And just remember, keep your foot that's touching right close to the foot that is flat. You don't want to be way out to the side, especially forward, because that's going to affect your posture, right? So we did basic Egyptian. We did walk with pivot, walk, 2, 3, pivot, walk, 2, and going backwards, back, 2, 3, pivot. And we did full spin with basic Egyptian. So I'm going to go to the right and I'm going to spot front. I'm not sure I mentioned that today in class. So you're going to look at front, and that's going to be towards your 12 o'clock. And I'm going to go right foot, right foot, touch and twist. Now on the left foot, right foot, left foot, touch and twist. And my arms go second, high, first, second, second, high, first, second. So this is full spin with basic Egyptian. And we do those steps, those 3 steps, the beginning of every Jamila Salimpour Level 1 class. Now, then we add on steps. So this week we did walk with pivot on an angle. And the angle refers to the body line. So you're still in home and you're going to walk forward with that walk with pivot, footwork and hip work, but now we're going to add a side wave. 5, 6, going forward. Walk, 2, 3, pivot, walk, 2. We also went backwards, 2, 3, pivot, back, 2, 3, walking forward, walk, 2, 3, pivot, going backwards, back, 2, 3, pivot, back, 2, 3, pivot. So walk with pivot on an angle. We also did the bow step, B-O-W, as in a bow, because it has this upper body tilt, right? So we have a default and a reverse. So when we're doing Jamila Salimpour step vocabulary, there are some steps that do not have a reverse. They just go right and left, something like full spin with basic Egyptian. But then there are steps that have a right and a left, and one is the default and one is the reverse. Now, just because it's downbeat right, that doesn't mean that's the default. So you have to remember which is the default. So conveniently for us, the bow step, the downbeat right, is the default, but we will encounter some steps where that's not always the case. So you just have to remember which one is the default and which is the reverse. So the bow step, right, I'm in this classic position, my left foot is flat, my right foot is on the ball. My palms are up and facing forward. So really important here that your finger cymbals are fastened on tight. And we're going to be doing a twist, alternating twist, full-time downbeat on the right, 1 and 2 and, with alternating shoulder presses, full-time downbeat on the right. So we go 1 and 2 and then we step back, little upper body hinge, right foot, left foot. It goes 1 and 2 and step and step. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Twist, 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 step, step, twist, 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 twist. Don't forget the shoulders. Shoulder, 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 shoulder. One more. So it's a one-sided movement, right? I'm only doing that twist and that foot step on the right side. Now, default is what we just did. Now we're going to do the reverse. Reverse, we're going to do it all on the left. So we reverse it, we mirror image. 5, 6, 7, 8. Twist, 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 step. This is reverse, bow, step. Twist, 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 and step. One more. Yeah? And then we did 3, 3, 7 with our finger symbols today. We did both right hand and left hand dominant. So in the Punch Pass content library, I will be uploading some finger symbol references for you. But here's the thing. The best reference for you for your finger symbols is, well, there's actually 2. The first one is the symbol jams. Now these are audio recordings that Suhaila Salimpour has created of all of the finger symbol patterns in this method. And so for level 1, you want to get finger symbol jams 3s and 7s, 3s and 5s. You can get those on the Salimpour School website or on Bandcamp, and I will link to that. The second resource that's going to be incredibly helpful, especially while we're working on Jamila Salimpour vocabulary, is get the New Dance Oriental Manual. This is a collection of all of the steps in this step vocabulary. And especially if you are working towards certification, you're really in this program, it's like required reading. You just have to have it. It's an essential text for this program. It's the New Dance Oriental, and again, I will link to that. And in the back, it has all of the finger symbol patterns written out with counts and which hand is playing when. So symbol jams, so you can hear it, and then the New Dance Oriental Manual, so you can see it and read it. You'll start discovering whether or not you're like a listener, like you want to hear it, or do you really want to see it written out? Everybody's a little bit different. So we have tools for every kind of learning style, but really you want to have that Dance Oriental Manual for at least for the next 12 weeks with me, but also for the rest of your training here at the Salimpour School. So again, thank you so much. Work on those 5 steps, and we will be exploring more in the Basic Egyptian family next week.